Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to a LEGO train set review. This is the Wilko Blox steam locomotive. Now this is the same company that's made the larger train station kits that I used to make my grand train station. So this thing over here, which is currently all piled up. But yes, this is the same company that made that other set, and I finally found one of the smaller train sets that they made. So when I did the review for the station sets, I had a comment saying, you know, they make a small green train as well. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to have to look out for that one. And yeah, here it is. Only £5, which is quite interesting. I don't know if that's a good price or a bad price given the quality of the build. But for what it is, it's not the end of the world. It's bad. I mean, I'm not going to say it's not bad because it is bad. So yeah, so that's the box. Nice and simple box. On the back as well, you get different sort of angle, some basic details, nothing really special. And yeah, so that's that thing out the way. Let's get a good look at these two, the main unit itself. So this, if I actually go back to the box just one sec, because I think that confirms something. Yeah, so this is actually based on narrow gauge trains, which I think is really good because we see a lot of mainline proper gauge locomotive builds and sets. So to see something looking a little bit different and kind of based on narrow gauge, I think is quite nice. That's also a bit weird because this is to the same sort of build scale as all the other LEGO trains, basically. I don't have any track available to hand, but if I went and grabbed some, I could basically put that on that track and it would be to the same scale, it would fit. So whilst it looks a bit weird, I can still appreciate for what they were going with. So let's get another good look at this train, because this is quite interesting to say the least, because the wheels are placed a bit differently. These are the own brand wheels. Again, this is all own brand. This isn't manufactured by anyone besides the Wilko company themselves. So yeah, the wheels are wheels I would never use. It is interestingly shaped. Of course, this is a really basic set, kind of lacking in details. This shape is something I do not recognize at all. The cab is completely odd. That gap there that you see in the middle of your screen, that is an actual gap made in the instructions. That's not something I've like missed a brick or anything. As is that gap there by the front, so you see between the black face piece and where the green boiler ends. Yeah, that's just how the bricks are kind of, well, they're not actually made like that, it's just the way they decided to attach it. So if I carefully take that off, there we go, so you can see there they've kind of gone for some interesting technique, but sadly it's not flush. So that's what led to the face kind of sticking out a little bit. Just make sure it doesn't fall over. No, it's going to be a bit difficult. I'm going to swap hands. This will work a little bit better. There we go. Ooh, and it broke. That's something I have done a lot with this model. I'm kind of glad that happened. So even when I was holding it by the cab, because of the quality of the bricks, it would kind of crumble in your hands, which was not good at all. And even trying to do this just one-handed is quite difficult because it's so delicately built together. I don't really appreciate how they've built this because, again, it's done really simply and kind of lacking of any detail. But I can definitely see myself using these parts for future models, like these slope bricks here, these tiles, these bricks along here. That shade of green is a different shade to the green LEGO uses. So with all of these parts building up, I might have to make something kind of special with its own sort of use of these color bricks. But we do have a few printed details like the number plate here, and of course Steam Express on the side of the coach, but we'll get to that in just a moment. At the front as well, you got these yellow and red bricks. I'm not quite sure what the yellow bricks are supposed to represent. I suppose that will be a light. I'll just bounce it. No, I can't really even bounce it upwards. So there we go. So yeah, I think that is another representation of how little kind of research they've done. I don't think, you know what, I don't think it's not even that. I think it's because they don't really have enough different type of bricks yet to really make something good. Whilst they've got certain side stud details to actually allow these red bricks to be placed here, which I do like. These are kind of domed, they're not actually flat, which is something I actually quite like because when you rub your finger up against them, you can feel that, and it is surprisingly nice to potentially use on another train, so I might do that. But I just don't understand. Like, yes, it's own brand, it's bad quality, but still, if they're making bricks, you may as well make some more detailed bricks. I mean, why not? Like, where's the funnel supposed to be? That's the middle dome. Where's your whistle? Where's your... it's just, you know what I mean, right? You know what I'm going to say. So yeah, let's just put that to a side and finally get a look at the coach, because this is probably the best of the two things you get in this set. So it's just the train and the coach. You don't get a station. You do get a few minifigures, but I did not put the minifigures together because they are really bad minifigures. So we have doors on one end of the coach, and we have them on this end. It's not something where there's doors on both ends. Again, we have Steam Express written on the side, which I think looks quite nice. Again, kind of simple looking, but it's nice to have a printed detail there. Not stickers, which is something I can appreciate because I'm never the best with stickers. Underneath, you get a kind of simple idea how this was made. Again, these are 4 stud long wheel pieces with 2 stud gaps between them, which makes this, if I count correctly, 4, 8, 12, 14 studs long. Okay, that's not bad for an arrow gauge model, I suppose. And yeah, it's complete. No, actually, it's not completely hollow. I don't want to take off the roof because it's going to be a nightmare to put back on. Again, it's really fragile. And as you saw earlier, if I go to open the door again, you can see these bricks here kind of pulling each other off. I'm having to press down again just to stop it from doing that. That's really irritating. But there are seats in there. I think there's about 3 seats. And it's a bit of a nightmare to get the own brand minifigures into those seats because they are built differently to Lego's minifigures, obviously just to kind of have a bit of originality. And yeah, that's pretty much everything. The coach is very bland, kind of a box on wheels. Obviously that's what a coach kind of is, but it could be so much more than just being a simple box. They can do so much more, but at the same time, I still think it's due to them not having the variety of bricks yet for them to really pull off something truly detailed. So yeah, that is everything for this set. It is a small set, a very cheap set. Even if you're a fan of Lego trains and you want some more variety, if you can get a hold of this, just keep your $5. There's no point in buying this. If you really want to buy one, then sure, I'll leave that with you, but this does not have my recommendation. You can tell it's an own brand set, you can tell that it's lacking in detail. You're not getting any real play value. You could use this for the sake of getting like different bricks, like the wheels, for example. But yeah, I mean, if you see it, just leave it be. I mean, there are other sets out there. You can go on Bricklink and buy some cheap sets. Just do that. So yeah, there we go. That is it for this video. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.